All right. Good morning and welcome everybody out there going through the quarter life crisis. My name is Sean Nickel. This is Valley of the SunDay Scaries, episode 10. And as you can tell, the sun looks a little bit different today because we got up super early today and the sun's coming through. So we're going to power through the sun beating on my eyes. But me and my wife got up at 5 a.m. today just to realize that it was daylight savings time. So we went back to bed for a little bit, but we got up and we got after it. We're about to go on a hike right now with two of our close friends. And we've already been out on a walk with our dog. We've done a little bit of exercising. We made breakfast. I'm eating some plantains and avocados because that's my new life, and drinking a coffee. And I want to come at everybody today about hobbies and about basically just setting aside the time to focus on the things that you want to do with your life and getting after it. And I'll kind of explain what I mean by all that in a second. But if everybody out there is trapped in their current job or their current career and they don't know what to do, I'm going to lay out a little bit of a game plan of things that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks that I've seen a lot of happiness in my life and a lot of results. One thing I do want to change moving forward is I want these to be about 5 minutes or less because I think that I can make them a lot more impactful, get really zeroed in on what I'm trying to get across. And, let's be honest, like the age of today is that we don't have a ton of attention span and we can't be listening to 15, 20, 30-minute, YouTube podcasts. So unless I have a guest on, this is going to be trying honed into 5 minutes or less. So the biggest thing that I've learned over the last couple of weeks is allocating the hours in your day. So a lot of us work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but there's still a ton of time left over that we can kind of chase the things that we want to chase. So some of the hobbies that I've been going or focusing on is obviously the podcast, the blog, the website. And as you'll see here, something new that I'm into is NBA trading cards. I'll be honest, I'm a huge Gary V guy and he definitely got me into it. But as far as hobbies go, it's something that I've really enjoyed. I've been flipping cards and so far I've made some pretty good money, like $1,500. So nothing, earth shattering, but it's definitely something that I can see myself doing a little bit more on the side. But it's just giving me a little bit of something extra to focus on when I get home. And the craziest part is that my wife, her favorite part is just taking the cards and ordering them and putting them in a binder. So it's become a hobby for both of us. But it's definitely something that I think everyone needs in their life is a hobby. I think that too many of us, we come home and we de-stress and we think about things like, Netflix and Hulu, and that's what we're going to do to de-stress ourselves. And I did that for a very, very long time. And after a few of the hobbies that I've been chasing, it's just so much more enjoyable to come home and focus on a blog or focus on a podcast or focus on opening up some trading cards or flipping cards. It's not about like the money thing, but it's about finding fulfillment in your life, which I think is super important. So what I recommend is you figure out the things that you like to do. And it might be something as silly as NBA trading cards, and just do a ton of research in the beginning. Spend a couple of hours researching, what it is you can do with the trading cards, what the values are, who you should be collecting, what you should be collecting. I think that's a good example to use, but maybe your passion is cars, maybe your passion is cooking, whatever it might be. Spend that first week or two just studying and researching and figuring out what can I do with this hobby that's going to give me long-term fulfillment, because the end goal would be that you take whatever your hobbies are, your passions are, and you turn them into your full-time roles. I talked a lot about chasing your passion and matching your passion a couple podcasts ago, and it's super important to do that, but it's just as important to see what you can do with your passions on the side. Can this become your full-time job in 2, 3, 4 years? If it can, then that's what you should be doing. Don't be in the spot you are right now in 4 or 5 years. You don't want a quarter life crisis to become a miserable life. You don't want a quarter life crisis to become a midlife crisis. You need to do something right now that's different than what you're currently doing so you do see the fulfillment and joy in your life. So as I get ready to get out here and get the hike, the sun is coming in, but I'm going to leave everybody with a quote from my grandfather, which I found to be one of the most impactful things that anyone has ever said to me. It was towards the end of his life, and he called me on my phone. I was in college at the time, which was kind of crazy. And, I had a couple adult beverages, so maybe that's why this sticks so hard. But he told me, if you want to do something, do it. If you want to buy something, buy it. If you want to go somewhere, go. Life is too short. And that's kind of how I've lived my life since then. And when it comes to these hobbies and chasing your passion, life is too short to sit in a job or a career you don't find happiness, chasing a paycheck. But you can't just abandon that, because then you're going to be unhappy at home with no money. So you have to find a way to chase happiness that will one day lead you to be able to do the long-term thing you want to do. If you want to buy something, don't hold back, go buy it. If you want to do something, go do it. And that might mean starting a hobby or chasing a passion. If you want to go somewhere, go. The vacations, all that stuff, like that's the stuff that you'll remember forever. You won't remember the extra 10 hours you put in your employment. So I'll leave you with that. I got to finish my coffee. I got to finish my avocado and plantains. I got to go hike on Thunderbird. Hey man, we got up at 5 o'clock. We realized that it was a little too early, so we went back to bed and we got up at 6 instead. So for everyone out there early morning chasing their dreams, welcome to the Valley of the Sun.